Hey doc, are these symptoms of menopause or am I going crazy? These are questions that I get asked all the time. So if you're thinking, am I going through menopause, then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Dr. Holda Gueye, a physician board certified in the United States and a inner healer and self-realization guide. And I help women who feel like they're stuck in the daily stress of negative, stressful emotions, who can't feel right in their bodies no matter what health initiatives they start, or who feel stuck in the same unwanted life story, whether it's with relationships, finances, or their health, find their freedom and manifest the life of their dreams. You are looking to begin your own journey for inner healing, not only of your body, but also your mind and your soul, then join my inner circle. The link is in the description box. You will be joining a community of women just like you so you can form long-lasting bonds, provide support for each other in a very loving and safe setting, as well as have access to all the journeys that I have curated with so much love, all of my expertise and wisdom in a very easy to use step-by-step guide so you can begin to step into the life that you have always wanted and deserve. Welcome. Today we are talking about menopause and how do you know if you're going through it? So there's a lot that I can say in this video, but I'm not going to hold you forever. And I want to hit on the main things that I think not enough women are hearing. The first thing is age. Now, we always think that, menopause is something you go through when you're significantly older. But the truth is that we actually begin hormonal changes in our bodies as women as young as in our 30s. So you may find that some of the symptoms that I'm going to mention later may be applicable to you, and you may be going through what we call perimenopause. Now, the average age in the United States tends to be in the early 40s until the late 40s or early 50s. And then most women will start to go through menopause around age 51 or above. The age at which you're going to go through menopause has a lot to do with your genetics, environmental factors, medical history, and of course, surgical history as well. Now, the symptoms of menopause are, of course, going to overlap a lot with perimenopause in that some of them are just going to sound the same. Some of the very common symptoms that you've probably heard about are things like hot flashes and night sweats. Now, what are these? It's not the fact that you just feel hot all the time. It's when you all of a sudden feel like there's this internal heater that just gets activated and you feel really hot when everyone else around you is not necessarily having the same experience, and there is no external trigger like you're standing outside in the hot sun in Disney. I don't know why I just said that, but that's the memory that came to mind. That's a hot flash. A night sweat is when, you're resting peacefully at night and then all of a sudden you feel like you just got really hot and you just need to take all the covers off. That's what a night sweat would feel like. Other common symptoms that you may hear about are fatigue, feeling like you are gaining weight very easily or it's really hard to lose weight. Having vaginal dryness or pain with sex, having a lower libido or just not really desiring intimacy as much as you used to. But then there are some other symptoms that are not very well known, and this is where patients will often come to see me to ask, could this be related to menopause? And unfortunately, I've heard a lot of people in social media, celebrities, other people have these symptoms, and I always can't help but think, oh my gosh, somebody needs to tell you that you're going through menopause. And these symptoms are things like changes in your heart rate. So feeling like your heart is racing, having palpitations, or just an irregular heartbeat could be one of the symptoms that is just not very well known and isn't talked about a lot. Some of the emotional symptoms, so feeling that you all of a sudden you're just very irritable or sad, lack motivation. You may find that in the perimenopausal phase that this tends to happen at very specific times of the month and just kind of comes and goes. And then you have a few days where you feel okay and then you don't feel so good anymore. And then as you approach menopause, it tends to be something that occurs more frequently. That could be some hormonal changes that you're going through. There are also certain skin changes. You may find that your skin is getting a little bit drier, that you're having more flares of certain skin conditions, whether it's psoriasis or eczema, that your hair is thinning, you just don't have maybe as much volume, or you're having some hair loss that you're experiencing that you didn't have before. Those all could be related to perimenopause or menopause. Now, let's not forget some of the bleeding changes that may occur. Now, it is very common to start to see an irregularity in your cycles. Now, when I say a cycle and when an OBGYN says cycle, what they're referring to is from the first day of a period to the next period. So when you notice that that time frame is starting to lengthen, that's very common in perimenopause, and then eventually it just stops happening as you go through menopause. If you're finding that you're getting bleeding all the time and you're getting several cycles in a month, or they've gotten heavier, you definitely need to get evaluated by an OBGYN. Don't just chuck it off to perimenopause or menopause because that could be a sign of other more concerning issues. Now, there are certain things that you can do right away. Changing the way that you eat can make the world of a difference. There are certain foods that can trigger your hormonal imbalance and make them worse. Some of the common culprits are refined sugars, high carb diets, processed foods. So you want to try to stay just with whole plant-based nutrition as much as possible, and try to avoid having too much carbohydrates. Gluten is also another big trigger. We have nutrition plans that you can access when you join our inner circle. So you can you can get entire grocery lists and look at the different recipes that I have in there that are designed to balance your hormones, whether you're in perimenopause or in menopause. So definitely join our inner circle. If you're already in the inner circle, check the resources section out because there's gold there. So just changing the way you eat can make a world of a difference. We also know that intermittent fasting, or I should say intermittent eating, which always sounds better to me, also tends to work better with our hormones. You don't want to eat from the time you wake up in the morning to the time you go to bed, unless you have a medical reason that you need to. You want to try to limit all of your meals within a restricted time frame. And for women in menopause, it's actually an 8-hour time frame that has been found to be ideal with a 16-hour fast. Now, when you're not eating, you want to hydrate. You want to drink as much water as possible. You can have teas, you can have all those things. Just try to avoid the cream and the sugar, etc., when you're in that fasting period. You want to make sure you're getting enough vitamin C, at least 750 milligrams a day. Anything that's in excess, you will pee out because it is a water-soluble vitamin. Make sure that you're getting enough sunlight going outside, or you're replacing with vitamin D, especially if you are a woman of color with deeper pigment. So you just probably will need more vitamin D, or you'll need replacement so that you're not vitamin D deficient. If you are already taking a multivitamin, just check your multivitamin and see what's in there. And these are simple ways that you can help maintain your hormonal balance today. Now, there are actual menopause supplements that you'll find out there. Unfortunately, many of them just don't have really good data or just don't really work. Now, I'm going to put in the description box of this video a couple of known supplements that actually have really good randomized control trials, and that means that's just the highest standard of testing that we have available to us in medicine to know if something really truly works or if it's just placebo. So check out the links that I have. Always make sure that you check anything that you're going to start with your own physician. Although I am a physician, I am not your physician, so make sure you do that. And then finally, it's important to mention that bioidentical hormones or hormone replacement therapy can literally be a game changer in your life. Make sure you don't just go to a med spa or someone that doesn't truly understand hormonal replacement therapy and how to manage the potential side effects, how to dose it properly. So make sure you go to an OBGYN physician or maybe a functional medicine physician who has solid training in hormonal replacement therapy, because it is a medical procedure, and unfortunately I'm finding that it's kind of becoming the spa treatment, but it has potential risks, and you need to be properly evaluated, and it needs to be properly dosed and monitored for you. But if you go to the right person, I promise you, it could literally change your life if you're at a time where you just need some replacement and rebalancing of your hormones. I hope that this video provided you with information that can transform your life. If you start to implement any of them and you find that you have noticed big shifts and big changes, please come back and put your experience in the comments. I read all of them and I love hearing about them. And remember, if you want more help and you want to start your journey towards really living your best life, feeling your best in your body, and healing your mind and your soul, join my inner circle. You can find the link in the description box. Thanks for watching.